world of Ter'Ra'Mentia. Today, we're going to continue with our discussion on what makes each unique class so unique. Today, we're going to look at some classes that focus on the spirit pool and have great martial prowess. They do involve some spellcasting as well, but let's see what makes them them. We're going to look at the Shadow Templar, the Weapon Master, the Solar Guardian, and the Reaver. Please follow us to stay up to date as we will continue to give you news about our upcoming game that should be published January 2024. We're going to start first with Warrior, the Weapon Master. This is your quintessential warrior / fighter. Let's see what makes them so special. The Weapon Master can be a veritable man-at-arms. They get the most amount of inherent weapon specializations, and they're better at using them than really almost any other class. They can be strength or finesse based, and they have an ability called Combat Master that grows over time with different effects. Other classes do have access to it, but not as many levels that the Weapon Master has. At level 2, they'll gain Combat Master 1, gaining either a choice of a +1 to defense, speed, or vitality, all extremely useful in combat. They also have Warrior's Resolve, where once per day, they have the ability to regain 2 spirit to their spirit pool and a certain amount of health based off their fortitude. At level 4, they really start to come into their own with the feature called Versatility. You no longer need to spend 1 action point to change weapons in combat. This helps them get maximum use out of their weapon diversity. At level 5, continuing on with their uniqueness, they get Weapon Master 1. This is something that grows over time as well, but you get to choose one of your weapon specializations, one of the many that you have with this class, and you gain additional to hit and damage with that specialization. At level 5, this class also has Cavalry 1, gaining the specialization Mounted Combat and a +3 to Riding. Level 6 offers you a choice. Some classes may get one or the other or none at all, but here it's two-handed weapons training, allowing you to make additional attacks at the cost of just 1 action point with a two-handed weapon, or dual wield mastery. As the features Combat Master and Weapon Master grow over time, they'll continue to get additional pluses to hit and pluses to damage, as well as picking up the feature Shatterpoint, where they can stack additional damage with weapons that they're specialized in. This allows the Weapon Master to apply what weapons is needed for each situation appropriately. They also have a plethora of attacks, from sweeping crescents to power leaps to flurries, back-to-back shield walls, and student of war. Using things like offensive stance, defensive stance, and battlefield awareness, I feel this class could go very underrated. It can be simple to play in terms of game mechanics, but it's incredible fun. Again, when talking to people, I think this class gets overlooked because it's capable of doing amazing things with weapons. Especially at level 17, when you have an ability like No Equal, where you can move freely on your turn without taking attacks of opportunity, make 2 attacks with a weapon you're specialized in, and gain the ability Block and Slash at no cost. So although this class doesn't make great use of the mana pool outside of specializations, it sure does great things with weapons. Now let's look at the Solar Guardian. Solar Guardians function very well as a hybrid, making use of the spirit and the mana pool. But today we're looking at the baked-in abilities that really make them unique. They have things like Sunflow City Notoriety, where people recognize who and what you are if you're dressed as a Solar Guardian. That can command a certain amount of respect. They do have an ability at level 2 called For the Queen. This is an ability that adapts over time or grows over time, but you'll not be stopped on your mission to rid the world of demons and other creatures that threaten it. Once per day, you can gain an amount of health equal to 2 times your fortitude plus spirit power. At level 3, there's Bastion of Ter'Ra'Mentia 1. Once per day, stand as a tower for the realm. Gain a whopping +6 to defense for 1 round, and taunt all enemies within 10 feet of you to attack. Now, this taunt can be resisted by a willpower check versus your spirit power. But if you're focused more on martial prowess and spirit power, it's going to be hard for people to resist. Versus going down the route of willpower and mana, and augmenting your damage with magic. At level 5, they start to get things like Demonic Purge 1, where they inherently just do more damage versus demons. It's situational, but with the amount of demons in Ter'Ra'Mentia at the moment, extremely helpful. Level 6, they have a baked-in feature called Solar Infused Weapon, where you can imbue one weapon you have equipped with white solar flames, adding 1d8 solar damage to attacks made each round with that weapon for 2 rounds. That is another feature that continues to grow over time in terms of damage numbers. They're also a martial class that has access to many things that can be beneficial to your party, such as the ability Aid. You can double your movement and must move towards an ally without taking attacks of opportunity, then perform a weapon attack and heal other. They gain things like Jumping White Flames, Demon Slayer, Sunlight, Augment Meal, Defensive Stance, and Glorious Presence. They also have some ranged abilities such as Light Ray if you want to focus a little bit more on the willpower side of your character sheet. They have 2 choices at level 17, being Champion of Ter'Ra'Mentia, where the sun's rays fall upon you from above. You are immune to all magical and combat damage for 2 rounds. However, you're unable to perform weapon and spell attacks. They also have Sunstorm. If you have Solar Infused Weapon active, you may attack all enemies adjacent to you with a melee weapon, or up to 3 targets with a ranged weapon. Now we have the Shadow Templar. They function well as damage, especially with 2-handed weapons, but they also really excel with the shield and have the shield specialization inherently gifted to them. Shadow Templars have a small Shadow Stone. This dark gem, mined from Darktop Mountain, is a stone needed to cast certain spells and abilities. It also can warn you when the dreaded Terebras or other nefarious magic are in the vicinity of you. This stone could be loose, or you could have it as a part of your armor or weapons, whatever you see fit for the flavor of your character. The first interesting thing about the Shadow Templar, besides their Shadow Stone, is that their class attribute is Vitality, and that will be used to calculate their spirit power. At level 2, they have Protectorate Stance 1. They can gain a +2 to defense that will last for 1 round, and can be channeled for 1 action point each round after. They also are gifted Live in the Shadows, where you do not suffer a penalty to awareness checks and attack rolls in darkness or magical darkness. At level 4, they gain Protectorate Stance 2, and while that stance is active, they may spend 1 spirit when making an attack of opportunity to add an additional damage die. The Shadow Templar really likes to be in the thick of the fight. Level 5 offers Great Shield training, where Great Shields no longer reduce your movement. Then they're also gifted Friendly Fortress 1. You can gain 2 times your fortitude and health. Then, for 2 rounds, once per round, you may receive damage that would be assigned to an ally if they are adjacent to you. Level 6 will offer 2-handed weapons training, and your Opportunist and Protectorate stances will continue to grow. With Opportunist, when you make a killing blow, you can move up to 10 feet without taking an attack of opportunity as soon as you do. This is in addition to your normal movement. Also, as that ability grows, when an enemy misses you with an attack, you may immediately move up to 10 feet without taking an attack of opportunity as well. I would also like to point out the feature granted to the Shadow Templars is Anti-Magic Aura. You and all allies within the area reduce all magical damage taken by 1d6 while it's active. For optional abilities and spells, you can use your Shadow Stone to cast a large amount of abilities and spells, like casting Shadows, Shadow Quakes, Black Hole, or Gravity, where you can suck opponents towards you. You can even make Disorientating Mist and become one with the stone. If you like battlefield control and being a tank, this is a great class for you. You may even have the opportunity to use Shadow Bolts as well, if you go down the willpower side of the character sheet. Now let's take a look at the Reaver. The Reaver has the highest base health in the game, and strength is their class attribute. At level 2, they have Fury 1, where twice per day they can add their Fortitude as damage to a successful weapon attack that they've made. So building into their Vitality can also help their damage. Level 4 offers Blood Rage 1. When you are below half health, add +2 damage to one-handed attacks and +4 damage to two-handed attacks. As you continue to level up, your Blood Rage damage will grow, and your Fury can be used more times per day. Level 6 offers 2-handed weapons training or dual-wield mastery. At level 7, your Blood Rage is now Blood Rage 2. Your Blood Rage has blinded you to your condition, so when you drop below half health, in addition to gaining extra damage to your attacks. You may now reduce combat damage done to you by your defense number. This doesn't account for magical damage, but when we say combat damage, we mean physical, or any spell or ability that states combat damage. You also gain Pain as Power, and you can sacrifice half of your current health to double your next damage roll with a weapon attack this round. That sounds crazy, but once you do that, you can trigger your Blood Rage. Now you're doing massive damage, having damage reduced to you at the cost of some health. Optional abilities can be things like Channel Spirit, Power Leap, Leaping Assault, Bloodfire Slash, Volatile Nature, Pain Suppression, and Outnumbered, where when your Blood Rage is active, you violently swing your weapon in a circle with enough force to knock everyone adjacent to you back. So this has been a brief look at what makes some of the martial classes unique. We're going to continue the series until we've looked at all 18 unique playable classes in our core book. If you're interested in seeing what our character sheets look like, please check out our level 6 build guides where we walk through building a character. We'll be continuing that series as well. Thank you again for checking out our new tabletop role-playing game, and we'll see you next time in the world of Ter'Ra'Mentia.